The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. An expert says Russia's attack on Ukraine is possibly motivated by its goal to turn the country into its puppet state. In an interview with the chiefs, military historian and defense analyst Professor Jose Antonio Custodio said that Russia is trying to either control Ukraine or, if they fail to do that, neutralize the country.
And that's what Russia wants. They're hoping that either they turn Ukraine into isang tuta nila or a puppet of theirs, or if not, something like a forced neutrality.
Custodio added that economic sanctions do little to prevent further attacks against Kiev. He said only military assistance from sympathetic countries will be able to help Ukraine.
The sanctions, though, yes, they are significant. But what will stop the Russians on the ground is not sanctions per se, but it's the amount of military aid that will pour through Ukraine from countries sympathetic to it.
And as the Russia-Ukraine conflict continues to escalate, prices of gasoline and other commodities here in the Philippines would only go higher. But more than that, experts fear the turbulence in the world market could dampen economic growth. Gilas Francisco has the report.
Alfredo, who only earns minimum wage, couldn't help but complain about the rising prices of goods. Half of his salary is already spent on gasoline.
Gumawa sana ng paraan ng Duterte administration natin para sa amin mahirap. Diba? Kasi kami lang ang nakakaramdam ng hirap eh. Yung may mga kaya at saka mayaman, hindi naman nila nararamdaman yan eh. Kami lang ang lalong nababaod.
However, Alfredo's situation could worsen as gasoline prices are expected to increase amid the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Brent crude oil surged above $100 per barrel after Russian military forces attacked Ukraine. Before reaching this level, gasoline prices are averaging 68 pesos a liter. If oil prices soar to $120 per barrel, analysts fear that pump prices could increase by at least 9 pesos. This is expected as Russia is among the world's largest supplier of oil. Philippines may be affected as the country sources its supply from China, South Korea, and Japan, who are all getting from Russia.
Wala pang impact talaga sa supply yung pangyayari sa Russia. But definitely sa price. Kasi alam mo naman ang oil commodity to, tinitrade to. Nagkikik ang prices.
This could translate to higher prices in commodities due to higher production and transport costs. Economists fear that this could dampen economic growth as higher prices could mean lower consumption, which may result in losses for the private sector.
May kambal na pahirap na yun nga, hirap kang kumita and at the same time you're faced with higher prices. Yun yung yung risk dyan. Especially in a time na na ganito, matamlay ang ating demand, hindi pa ganun kasigla.
The Trade Department is now studying the impact of the rising tensions between Russia and Ukraine since both parties are trading partners of the country. Gilas Francisco, we are One News.
Now, as the Russians continue to invade Ukraine, Ukrainians flee and seek shelter while parents struggle to explain the attacks to their children. Let's watch this.
Не хочу, чтобы я умирала. Хочу, чтобы быстрее это все закончилось. Я проснулась от бабахи сегодня. Не поняла, что это война.
Себя жалко, а детей жалко. Он просыпается и плачет, говорит: мама, что случилось? Что ему говорить?
Ничего, война.
Что, война, да, класс, он вообще не понимает. Говорит, что делать? Что делать? Как быть?
Well, we started our journey last April. When the first escalation
April?
Yep. After the first escalation from Russia troops, and we moved from Kharkiv to Kiev, and we were thinking like, oh come on, who will we leave our two dogs with a friend there because we were not in time to make them a passport or a permissions or I don't know what. So we now thinking about what to do next, and going to probably Wroclaw to take a deep breath there and decide what to do. There were some explosions, rocket launches, and I know that citizens started to go to the Kharkiv underground and like a safety place now. Seems like all alive now, and we don't know what will be.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Now, after a successful grand rally in Iloilo, Vice President Leni Robredo is set to visit Guimaras today. For the latest update on the ground, we have mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro reporting to us over the phone from Guimaras. Jacob, what are the activities of Vice President Leni today?
Hi, Riza. Vice President Leni Robredo is currently in the Municipal Hall here in Guimaras Island, where she's courting voters. And by the look of it, Riza, she doesn't seem to need to try that hard to win them over, because the locals here are throwing themselves at her with thousands of attendees. Riza, this will wrap the Visayas and Mindanao legs of her campaign. In a span of 5 days, Robredo visited over 20 cities and municipalities. And one of the most interesting things about this visit is that in every province that she goes to, she's asking for the help of local Catholic Church leaders to help fight against this disinformation. Because Robredo said disinformation remains to be the biggest challenge in her campaign. The Catholic Church has the machinery to fight this. And of course, Rita, we all saw the star-studded grand rally in Iloilo Sports Complex yesterday with more than 20,000 attendees. And it's possibly her biggest one yet. Riza, with this kind of perception, it's safe to say that Iloilo and Cebu, one of the most vote-richest provinces in the country, is still her bailiwick. Riza?
Thank you. That was mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro reporting live from Guimaras. Gilas Pilipinas gets their first win in the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers after soundly beating India over by 20 points. Marty Bautista tells us more in this report.
It's been a while since basketball fans have had the chance to watch their favorite players like Thurdy Ravena, Ange Kouame, Dwight Ramos, or Juan Gomez de Liano play live at the Big Dome, which is why the energy inside Smart Araneta Coliseum sparked like dynamite for Gilas Pilipinas' first game for the 2023 FIBA World Cup Asian Qualifiers.
They're doing their best and alam po namin yun, kaya sinusupport po namin sila, kaya po andito kami ngayon. And ngayon pa rin nakikita po namin kung gaano sila ka-proud sa Philippines and ka-proud po sa i-represent yung country po natin. Go Gilas! Go 30!
The Gilas Pilipinas came smooth and composed on the court, handing India their second loss for the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian Qualifiers group stage, 88-64. Both B-League standouts Thurdy Ravena and Dwight Ramos combined a total of 32 points to assist Gilas with the win. Ramos tallied 17 points, 4 rebounds, while Ravena fused his 15 points into the mix. Gilas Pilipinas will be going against New Zealand this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. For News 5, Marty Bautista. We are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:15 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.